Welcome back to Lost in Time. Alright, so yeah. Looks like we have no choice. Let's go to Dimension X, even though it should just be called Mars, but whatever.
Get your ass to Dimension X.
Or again, do Planet X. Like, again, I don't recall there ever being a Dimension X in Looney Tunes. Maybe with the Duck Dodger show, but the Duck Dodger show was definitely not a thing at the time.
Yeah, Dimension X, that's TMNT, not Looney Tunes.
Now, where the heck am I? Hey, excuse me, pardon me.
Oh my, what a wonderful Earthling specimen to test my new space modulator experience.
Of course.
Marvin the Martian, aka one of the few, part of one of the few smart things Space Jam did. You know, because, you know, you need a referee for the basketball game, and Marvin is both an alien and a Looney Tune, so...
Off to a great start.
Nah, partial official.
Nah, that was me just killing myself to restore my entire health too. Like I said, the lack of a life system makes dying sometimes actually something good to do for the sake of something like this. Anyway, this particular place here, this is the garbage disposal place. Basically, if you get caught by a robot in this level, you get thrown back into this, and that checkpoint, I'm not kidding you, you literally get forced into that checkpoint, meaning you can't abuse the killing yourself to go back to the previous checkpoint thing. So
yeah. It's not
like
specifically to remove your backtracking.
Which I guess the devs wisened up to.
Mm-hmm. The developers.
Look at that.
Go on.
But look at that. At least they're feeding you golden carrots.
Mm-hmm. The basic gist of it. Okay, so the basic premise. This is, of course, inspired by the typical Marvin the Martian premise, where Bugs somehow finds himself on either Mars or one of his space stations, and Marvin wants to use Bugs for some kind of thing, and Bugs has to basically escape his bird-like Martians.
The instant Martians, yes.
Mm-hmm. The instant Martian pills will actually be a thing in a boss battle later on, but we'll get to that because that in fact that's actually the boss battle against Marvin the Martian that I've said in the previous part that is pathetically easy, and you can really finish it in like 30 seconds if you know what you're doing. Okay. Alright, and alright, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Robot of Doom. Here's what he does. He can freeze you. You also need him to freeze the Martians so that you can kick them and get them out of the way. However, if the robot freezes you and catches you, once again he throws you back to that place I already mentioned before. Like so.
It's very easy to get grabbed.
It's
and there you go. See. If it wasn't for that checkpoint, I could just kill myself and go back to the checkpoint right before the robot. But the developers wisened up to that, so that they made sure to literally force you to hit that checkpoint.
Yep.
It's hilarious the first time, but hope you manage to actually, eventually get past the robot. Otherwise, you're gonna be here for a long time.
Well, fortunately, I've already took down the Martian, as you noticed, so getting through this bit will be easy now.
Oh no, sure, but it's more the case of also, managing to avoid the freezing shots, which is not something that, it's automatically guaranteed. And by the way, you can accidentally throw yourself into the garbage disposal on your own if you're not careful, if you just wander nearby.
Alright, basic platforming. That will be the last time too. Like, you will not be seeing me be thrown into the garbage shooter again. That's the one time that I did it just to showcase how it is. Alright, so here are my tips on how to deal with these robots. First off, the robot will not activate until you get close to it. So only get close to it if you need its rays to take down the Martians. Like so, see? However, what I recommend doing is first get all collectibles that are around this place. As long as you don't get close to the robot will not wake up, so you'll be fine. So basically, just make sure you don't get close to it.
Great.
Alright. So yeah, let's try... No, actually, you know what? Just to make sure he doesn't wake up, let's go around him. There we are.
So to get the golden carrot.
Well, yeah, that was the whole point. Alright, now let's try and wake him up, because, yeah, these Martians will not let you go by, as you see. Which means we need to freeze them and then kick them so we can kill them. So, let's... And yeah, you have to also make sure to be right in front of them so that the robot will fire in their direction.
Oops.
That's okay, Theo, just mash, jump, and there you go.
Please, well.
Bugs was frozen today, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, and yeah, the robot... Okay, by this point it's done. Like, I already took down both the Martians, so we should be fine. Alright, now let's turn this off. There we are. Okay, moving on. And yeah, we have conveyor belts.
With 2 tons weight. It's more, it's 2 times 1. That's terrible.
There's actually... It's not, it doesn't have Marvin the Martian, but there's also a space-themed Looney Tunes short that stars Daffy and Porky, where it's a parody of a detective radio show from the time. I forgot the name. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, where it's just entirely Daffy just narrating, and Daffy will say something like
Joe Monday. Was
yeah, Joe Monday. Yeah, Joe Monday would be
it's based on
my name is
Joe Friday.
My name is Joe Monday. My partner is Tuesday. He always follows me. Get it? There you go, Theo. There's the roll. One particular joke that I really love is that, all right, you know these teleporters that we're using here in this era, right? Those little things where you go in and then you teleport. They have some of those in that short, and he goes, all right, 1430. We went to the scene of the crime, and then they go into a teleporter, and the teleporter literally says, "To scene of crime." You know, Joe, but it would be maybe that is how in the future Ace Attorney will work. You know, like they'll have teleporters that take you specifically to the scenes of the crime.
Very much possible. You know, we have had an Ace Attorney game that takes place in the far past. Maybe we will get an Ace Attorney game that takes place in the far future.
Yes, and the last villain is an AI that was programmed with a pattern of Manfred von Karma.
I can see that being a thing, honestly.
Phoenix Wright versus the AI reconnaissance of bringing Manfred von Karma back to life.
Honestly, I can see Takumi doing that. Honestly, if anything, just to have some commentary on AI and shit like that.
It was kind of like my actual feature for a Saw sequel, the idea of being distant in the distant future, Saw in space, and it's basically a space station that has the AI program with the pattern of Jigsaw's brain, which makes it perfect for having a proper setting without having to use Tobin Bell physically.
Why does that sound like HAL, but with extra steps?
A bit, yeah, admittedly, it's reminiscent of all.
So yeah, I went back here because I missed this clock.
Great.
Alright, this one is out, so... Okay. I actually do miss a specific... I forgot, not because I couldn't do it, like, it's just that I genuinely forgot about a specific spot in this level that has a clock and 2 golden carrots, but I'll get to it at a later time. Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's right there, actually. Yeah, because I genuinely forgot to even go into that. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's it. Like, I was supposed to go into that teleporter, but for whatever reason I forgot that that teleporter is usable. But don't worry, we'll get it at a later part. There you go. Alright, so basically the idea is to go, as you can guess for the cutscene, yes, we have to fight Marvin the Martian to take that clock that he was carrying.
I'll give I'll admit, it does something that I wish more levels do. Actually integrate the villains and explain better why Bugs is going up against them. Like, Elmer Fudd's fine enough, but like, shoot, why not work in why Bugs has to sometimes go after them, essentially? Here it literally is. Marvin is harnessing the clocks.
Well, Job, in the Stone Age, they just used the traditional Elmer Fudd Bugs Bunny plot. Elmer Fudd is it's rabbit season, so Elmer Fudd is trying to hunt Bugs, so Bugs has to defend himself. Typical.
That's one of the things Jova that the sequel will actually also address. Like I said, its plot is a bit more serialized, and the MacGuffins are something that the villains of the eras are actually harnessing, for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Like, no, Pedro, I did actually mention that, yes, the Elmer Fudd thing is fine. And, with Yosemite Sam, I guess we could chalk that up to them butting heads. Like I said, though, it's most weird with the 1930s where Bugs just sporadically decides to go after Rocky and Muggsy for some reason. And shoot, the medieval stuff, it's just Bugs, I guess, just romping around. I mean, obviously finding clocks and all that, but well, okay, we've already been over just how much of missed potential there was with Witch Hazel. Like, why even include her if you're not going to have her as a boss fight? Or better yet, why have her to the capacity you did in the first cutscene, yet not have her as a boss fight?
I have no clue. I have to like we've suspected before. I have to genuinely wonder if the game was rushed.
And again, this was early in the life cycle of the dev team, like I said.
Let's see, remind me. Did they start making this game relatively early into the PlayStation's life cycle?
No, but it was early in their life cycle, Like, they did Jersey Devil just, a bit before this, and before that this was maybe one other game, but otherwise this was still, that early in their career.
Yep.
Right. I'm just also trying to gauge, like, if this was to a point where devs were pretty much comfortably familiar with the PlayStation, but you do have a point. If it was the team's own early bout themselves, regardless of how old the PlayStation was, they were probably going to be on quite the learning curve, especially if this was their first ever full-fledged title.
Also, that's the tactical nuke sound effect from COD, I guess, making an early appearance.
It wouldn't be the first time something from Looney Tunes got archived into something later. Like, Sonic Rush actually has Looney Tunes mixes into some of its tracks.
Well, like I said, it's just, interesting coincidences more than anything. Like I said, when we were recording Neo, The War Ends With You, one of the, scratching sound effects that are present in the beginning of the battle were the same ones that have been used constantly for the soundtrack of Pizza Tower, just because they're public domain soundtracks, and sound effects.
Funny you mentioned that, actually. One of the samples used from Looney Tunes in Sonic Rush is for the boss, Metal Scratching.
Great!
And there you go. And now it's time for the level to throw a curveball at us when we get to that particular
Marvin, why do you
panel.
have a giant fan in space? Don't you know air doesn't really conduct properly in space?
The better question, Trevor, would be why not?
Yeah, no.
Well, because air does not conduct itself in space like that.
True.
Logic is for dumb people in Looney Tunes Java. After all,
right.
how else did Michael Jordan manage to stretch his arm at the last second?
Well, to be fair, they do... God, I tell me. They actually do give a logical reason in that, hey, it's Looney Tune land, so that's how them physics work.
Like I said, that's the entirety of the reason why they said, logic bends for the sake of comedy.
That is true. In fact, Who Framed Roger Rabbit pretty much actually solidified it down to that tunes arguably can only do stuff when it's funny. So if it's not funny enough, they actually could legit die.
So why didn't they die in Space Jam then?
Because he was operating on different logic grids.
Space Jam does the opposite, where in Space Jam, if you're a human in Looney Tunes land, you can do cartoon things. Not entirely certain how that works, but...
Also, unless you're Bill Murray...
That's the same movie that says the Looney Tunes live near the Earth's core, so...
Yeah.
Also, unless you're Bill Murray, not sure why they bothered to have him show up at the last minute if he did not do any wacky shit himself.
True.
Wasn't the movie itself even like, poking fun at the fact that he was a last minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main villain literally said, weren't there enough clowns in this movie already?
Alright, so this section you have to use the remote console to control a robot. Basically,
Yes.
in order to open up this gate so we can progress through the level, now we have to control this robot and take down some things. Fortunately, don't worry, even if your robot gets killed, a new one spawns and there's an infinite amount of robots that you can use. And
They
fortunately,
all share the same conscience, so he doesn't have to deal with the semantics of having died only to come
This
back
cannot
again.
continue.
this cannot continue, yes.
Robots only.
Alright, fortunately, once you take down one of these things, it gets taken down permanently, it doesn't respawn. So even if you do die, don't worry, you don't have to kill everybody all over again. You can take your time and just... Because, yeah, these things are a bit difficult because you have to shoot first so that their protection thing will go to the side, while also shooting the center to get killed. That's okay, we can just respawn, as I said.
You gotta love how when he gets his arm blasted off, the arm that's blasted off is left twitching on the ground.
It's like the arms waving goodbye.
Alright, let's try this again. And here's another thingy for us to take down. There we go. This time it died in one hit for some reason. Okay. Even though it wasn't... Okay. Yeah, we also have to take down some...
You were forced him to kill his own brother.
Alright, let's try again. And there you go, here's another one. Okay.
This is literally the plot of Gamma from Sonic Adventure 1.
And there you go. Oh! Somehow I managed to get the robot to fall into the place where there's a clock. But
About that fall damage.
no, it's not fall damage. It's just that the game always kills the robot if the robot falls. Because remember, if the robot continued working, you'd be stuck. You wouldn't be able to complete the level. So
That is true. So, admittedly, good foresight on the dev's part.
all right. Alright, there's only one more thing to kill. Oh, in fact, there it is.
Yeah, it's a bit
Kill
too
that
far.
planet
Now,
over there.
just come into the draw distance, please.
It's a bit too far, and yet that thing can still shoot.
Kill that planet.
Alright, let's try and get closer. We already took down the robot here. Oh wait, never mind, I thought we did. Okay, whatever.
Oh, there's another one, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, but the idea is that he was supposed to stay dead. Oh well.
No,
It's just another different one.
Oh,
What
is
they
it?
meant.
Yeah.
There were
Okay.
like two on the platform, either 2 or 3.
Well, never mind. Alright, there we are. And that's it. That's the robot section, which turns on the barrier, and now we can progress. Okay. There's 2 clocks in this particular floor, but I actually forgot to get the other one. But don't worry, I'll get it later. Right there. There's also one on the other side, but that one I leave for later because I genuinely forgot about the other side.
Great!
There we go.
Alright. That's okay, whatever.
You tried.
Alright. Ollie Ollie oxen free.
Yeah, especially because the elevator does not work for you.
Ollie Ollie action free!
And there you go.
Ollie Ollie action free!
Boing.
And that's it.
Great!
Alright, let's check. I think do I check? No. Oh yeah, I think I'm thinking, okay, hold on, did I miss something? I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is me thinking, maybe did I miss something? Whatever. And then I said, fuck it. Alright, time for the boss against Marvin.
When it comes to the actual boss fight, so this is not technically the most... I don't think it is most difficult, but it's one of the ones that actually goes for the longest.
Alright, so like I said, this boss battle actually gives you 4 clocks. Okay, so here's the basic idea. Whenever it's the higher green beam, roll under it. Whenever it's the lower red beam, jump over it. Simple. Like so. Just do this until his ray gun malfunctions.
Basically, you see red, jump. You see green, duck.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Do that.
The boss battle just keeps going even if you didn't die. So dying is literally a non-penalty in boss battles, basically. So don't worry. And yes, eventually he'll go back to check the ray gun, and that's your opportunity to give him a good old kick in the ass.
The thing is that, you know, the attacks keep going and going all the time. Like, I do wonder how much they did not test this, you know, because there you go. I mean, on paper it's perfectly fine, but the interval that is between the attacks and the opportunity for you to strike is way too long. Kind of reminds me of the first Rayman.
I never really had too much trouble with this boss. I feel like if you can just time it right.
Oh no, I don't mean difficulty drop. I just think, you know, they just, you know, overdo with you know, the length. They just have it going and going and going rather than just being, you know, having be more difficult.
Yeah, that's it, basically. Just do this 4 times and you'll be fine.
Now, about getting the clocks, though.
Oh, you have to wait till Marvin is defeated, and then the 4 clocks will just go down to the ground floor, and you'll be able to get them.
I always found it weird that, you know, they did that instead of just giving you the clocks after you beat him.
Well, technically, they do give you the clocks after you beat him. That's kind of...
I get the idea
No,
means
my point is
after each
like...
phase.
Oh, after each phase. I guess.
Okay, my other point is like, I just wonder why have them hovering up there? Like, maybe if like it was to imply that Marvin's harnessing them for something, I guess. But if that's the case, it's not really too clear.
I think you're overthinking it. It's just, I'm pretty sure the purpose of the developers was there are the 4 clocks. There is a reward. Defeat Marvin to get them, and that's literally as far as they thought it through, probably.
I only find it weird because the game has never really done that with any of the other boss fights before, but look, I'm not even too broken up about it.
And
by the way, it's not even like you defeat him, he just gets pissed off and leaves.
he literally rage quits the boss battle.
Like,
Huh.
okay.
Great.
Well, if it helps you to, the other boss battle against him, we properly defeat him in a more traditional manner, if it helps you. Although that boss battle, unlike this one, is piss easy, like I've said. But we'll be able to see it for ourselves. I think it's in the next part, is it? Oh, well, I'll have to check. Yeah, exactly. Basically, the game literally gives you... and keep in mind, that boss battle that is incredibly easy also... and it's just the boss battle level. The boss not only is piss easy, it also gives you 4 clocks like this one does. So it's literally the game throwing at you 4 bones.
Okay, now that does actually have me wonder if the game was rushed, since, if I recall correctly, this is either the last or the second to last hub. I feel like there was one other hub.
Nope.
No.
The hubs are only Stone Age, Medieval Period, Pirate Years, 1930s, and Dimension X. That's it. There are no more hubs.
There was one with question marks, but that may just be nowhere.
Oh no!
basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
the present at the end of the game.
Yeah, the other one that has 120 clocks requirement. That's the ending of the game, not the present.
Right, okay. That's what I was thinking of. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I do get the feeling that maybe you're right about this being rushed, since, you know, this is the end game level, so, oh, this is where all those extra clocks get stored.
Objects of the mirror are closer than they appear.
Yes, that will be the level we're doing next part. So see you for that next part.
Yeah.
Yeah.